Hello again, this is Double Talk 73, and for those of you, that's what this video is for. For those of you that don't have five or $600,000 to buy the gear, the bait, the rigging to fish at the new lake in Weeping Willow, we're going to go there and we're going to fish with just regular bottom rods, and you've probably already got the bait that we're going to use too. We're going to use peas and corn, and let's show you what we're going to be doing. We're going to use our regular old bottom rods, default leader, a 5/0 hook. I got two with sweet corn and two with peas. That's the only difference in them. They all have the same 5/0 hook, and it's expensive enough just to get there. The license is $8 grand. The travel's 12, so it costs you 20 grand to come fish here. So if you've got 20 grand and you've already got the bottom rods, rod holder, you're pretty well set to go. So we're gonna I've got markers all over this place that people have sent me. This one seems to be working pretty good so far, so we're gonna stick with this for now. And we're gonna warp to 2 p.m. and fish this little peak right here. And if we don't fill our net, then we're going to go ahead and go to the 9 to 11 and see if we can't catch some big fish. So that's the plan. So we are at Weeping Willow Fisheries in England. We're coming here. We got our rod holder. You see these big rocks? Let's see. Let's go. Yeah, we're all right. Go between those rocks, right down to this dock, right in front. See that path right in front of the. So this is where we're going to fish. And if you look, those markers are pretty well lined up in the middle of the tree. Okay. Let's see this. They're both set for uni-leather carp. So let's see what the distance is. The front one is roughly 90 to 94 feet. And the back one will be a little bit further. Right around 100. 98 to 104. Okay, so you can fish in between them. You can fish on them in that area. So you're fishing roughly from 94 to 104 feet. You got a 10-foot spread there. So let's go ahead and put a rod holder down. And like I say, we're just using regular old bottom rods. Nothing, something you would use for catfish or gar. You could probably come here if Brutus 910. If that's what you can afford, you can come here with that and bobber fish. You should be able to bobber fish in these areas. We may try that before we leave today, but we need to warp to the 2 o'clock, the beginning of that peak. So let's go there. And I fished here a little earlier, and I started at 5 o'clock, and by a little after 9, I had my net full, so I didn't even get to peak. So let's see what we can do now that we're going to fish at peak time. Now, you see this first two rods, 2 and 3, have corn, and we're going to fish them all about the same area. And hopefully we can catch some big fish. They seem to like the peas better, but I've caught them on both. And if the peas get significantly better, we'll change the other two rods from the corn to peas. But the main thing I want to show y'all is that you can fish here without having to spend $600,000 for rigging and bait. There are 15 pages of bait with the carp gear. A good rod and reel carp rig costs $125,000. So if you get 4 of them to come over here to fish with your 4 position rod stand, you're going to have $500,000 just in rod and reel. That's a lot of money. I mean, I've got a lot of money, but I don't want to spend $600,000 just to come here and fish. It's $20,000 for license and travel is bad enough. But once you get here, if you fish a couple of warps, fill your net a few times, even if you've just got the 440, if you fill it 3 times, you more than make your money back. So let's just hope we can catch some fish. We'll see what happens. They've got to know we're there. Believe me. It was slow at start, and then when it started, they found out the bait was there and they started hitting. So I've caught little ones, a pound. I've caught big ones quite a bit more. So see what 5's doing there. Running around. Wasn't making a sound for the rod holder, but we got a fish. Now, something else I found out, that if I got a fish on and I change rods, almost every time I lose the fish that I put down. So I just try to work the fish I get as they come. The only problem is the bait. If you use the carp bait, it's $1,800 to $2,000 for 10 pieces of bait, like the sweet spice pop-up boilies and stuff like that. It'll cost you $200 for each fish you catch. So if you catch 10 fish, you spent $2,000 in bait. A lot of money. If I can find a better way, cheaper way, that will get as good a results, that's what I'm going to try to do. And that's what I'm going to pass along to y'all. I want you to catch more and bigger fish. And here again, we learn just a little bit and pass it on. That's the fisherman's way. We try. I thought about streaming this, but most of the people that would be interested in watching this stream are in bed. Let's see. See how 6 drifted over? We'll get 6 in here and get it back out. Now, the current here, although this is a pond, I haven't figured that out yet. So it's enclosed, but yet there's a current in here that moves everything around. And it's humorous. Okay, come on, fish. Hit number 3. Here we go. Thank you. Up, little one. Now, they'll surprise you, too. You start bringing them in, you think I little one. Next thing you know, your graphs are all the way at the top. So, don't assume just because you got a little hit that you got a little fish. 2. Okay. There we go. That should be at least a trophy. Maybe we'll get a uni. We'll find out. But see, I'm not using carp gear. I'm just using regular old bottom rods. This one's on corn. Excuse me, sweet corn. I haven't tried sweet peas or just regular corn, but this is sweet corn. Here we go. Uni common carp. It's not the biggest one in the pond. I've seen them go over 50 pounds, but still a uni. It's a nice fish. And we didn't have to spend $600,000 to catch it. And that's what I like about it. So now you see where I'm fishing, where, what, when, and how. That's all you need to know. And then you can adjust it to your fishing technique or whatever you like to do. We're going to catch a couple more. Don't do that to me. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Thank you. When we catch this, and we're going to go ahead and warp to the night peak and see what happens there. Now, this is a daytime peak. The beginning of it. See, we're at 228. We're really not even in the height of the peak. The height of the peak is between 3 and 3:30. Okay, so let's get number 2 rod in after we catch the fish. There's something biting on it. You done? Okay. I was bringing rods in earlier today. I caught 2 fish while I was just bringing rods in. All I was trying to do was bring rods in so I could change the hook. I caught 2 fish. That never did anything. Okay. So now let's go see this night peak. See here, we're not even at the peak yet. The peak is from 3 to 3:30, and we've already caught unis and trophies. So now we're gonna warp to 9 p.m. and see what happens at the 9 to 11. Not changing a thing. Same bait, same poles. We're just going at night. Okay. And if I catch a couple fish here, I may go ahead and put a bobber on, bobber rig, and see if that shows anything. I don't know how deep it is there. It says 9 feet, so we can use a good lengthy, because these fish are bottom feeders. That's what carp are. Some people here in the United States call them sucker fish because their mouth is round and they have to suck food into their mouth. So you just open their mouth and take it in. So we'll see what happens here. Let's get rid of this right now. Okay. I'm going to turn my light off. No, I'm not. We're going to leave it like that. It's easier to see those lines with off. No, it isn't either. Not here. Okay, we got 2. Let's see what we got. That looks like at least a trophy. Bird in the hand. I'm not going to get that other line. If it stays on while I get this one in, then I'll worry about it. Number 5. See if I can get this one in where we can get number 5. What we got here? There we go. Now we got 6, so let's get number 6. 5's gone, I do believe. That's okay. So we start right off with a trophy. That's a good start. Maybe it's like Florida. You know, the big fish come out at night. If this is a uni, I'm going to put a bobber on and see what happens. Here we go. New personal best. How about that? Okay. So I'm going to bring the other two rods in because I don't want to be fishing with a bobber and then start having to reel in and change rods. So sorry, my throat's a little dry again tonight. Number 3. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put a 5/0 hook on here and peas. And I'm going to put the leader all the way at the bottom. So let's see what we can do here. 5. We got a 3/0 on there, so let's put a 5/0 hook on there. This line, I can't get nothing there. 5/0 hook. And for bait, we want peas. Now I've got sweet peas, but I hadn't tried them, so let's just go with peas. Let's see what we can get here. If you can catch them with this, you can fish cheaper still, because you can still use your rod stand with 2 or 3 of these Brutus rigs, and you'll only have about I think the whole rig's right at less than $50,000. So let's hope we can catch something. Hurt my feelings, fish. Just come on, hurt my feelings. Not. This may take a little more time than the bottom rods because they'll have to find this one. Because it's about, there we go, 2.5 feet off the bottom. Didn't take that long. I thought it'd be longer. Don't know the size of the fish. Okay, there we go. That's not a big one, but it's a fish. Cast a little further out towards that back one, which is right around 96 with this. So that's just barely beyond the front one. We can put on the what I call the German bobber, the orange, black, and yellow one, and cast further out. I may do that if I reel this one in, just so I can get towards that back marker, or out near that 102 foot, 104 foot. So we're right on the front edge, like I say, on 94 to 104 feet towards that tree. And I expect this to be slower because we've only got 1 rod, not 4. But if you come here and you know you're going to fish this way, rig 2 of them, at least 2, and you'll do good. You'll do good. Here we go. Now here's the other thing. Did you hear the ding for the bite alarm? Nope. I haven't heard a thing. Not the first time have I heard any kind of bite alarm. And I know it's on. But let's see how far out there I can cast. No, that's about it. Let's change bobbers so we can get a little further out. The bait doesn't weigh anything. See, if I had large cut on here, I could cast further. So let's put on this bobber, which has a heavier weight, and see what we can do now. We want to be out about 104 106 feet. Let's see. There we go. Let's bring it into 104. That puts us right in the area that the back side of that 94 to 104. And this is where we caught that uni fish with the bottom rod. But if you like my video, please subscribe. I'd appreciate it very much. And comments. Let me know if you like the new thumbnail that Luris designed for me. I think it looks pretty good. I like my old one because it stands out real good, but I like the new one because it's good looking. It's pretty. It's artistic. The other one was a whole lot easier to find, but this one looks more professional like. and y'all know I'm a real professional type person. Come on, let's catch one more fish, and then we'll put an end to this thing. Catch one a little bit bigger than that trophy. Okay, let's bring her in 2 feet. Something I like to tell you all the time. Take a kid fishing. Go get you a couple cane poles or little Zebco 202 at Walmart or Kmart or somewhere like that. Sportsman's Den, Bass Pro, Cabela's. You can buy one for $5 or $6. Get the smallest hook you can, like maybe a number 4 hook or number 6 hook, maybe even a number 10. Get you some crickets or worms and go out on where there's a boat dock where they'll let you fish, and just sit there and fish for little brim. Just have a blast. That'll be an experience they'll never forget. And if it's their first time fishing, you'll never forget it either. It'll put a warm feeling in your heart. Well, it looks like they're not liking the peas right now. That strike was done too early. It always says that when you raise the thing up, whether a fish was coming or not. Let's try sweet peas just while we're here. You know, you never know. There again, we're right at the front edge, just about. Come on, put a uni on that sweet peas, those sweet peas. Sweet pea, oh yeah. Sue-wee, sue, sue, sue. We'll give it a couple more minutes and we'll put it to rest. But at least now you know you can come here and you can fish with bottom rods or with bobbers. We could try something else. I call it my Texas rig. We'll let this sit out here for a few minutes and we'll try it. If I've got a slim bobber, I'll show you something that I kind of use. It's kind of similar to what I use at White Moose Lake to catch the uni and trophy lake trout at night. Yeah, let's do it. Now you've got to watch the video at the end, because if you skip over this, you might miss another little technique. It's something I use every once in a while. If I don't know how far we'll be able to cast. That's the only problem. Nope, I don't have it. Don't have a slim bobber, so we can't do it. Okay. I guess that's it. Good luck, tight lines. God bless you and your family. I hope you catch more fish and bigger fish. And y'all come back now, you hear? I'm going to keep on fishing and just see what can happen. And if something comes along while I'm posting the video, if I catch a uni on a bobber, I'll let you know in the description. So watch the video, watch some other videos, and please comment on whether or not you like my new thumbnail. I'd appreciate it. So y'all take care. Y'all come back now, you hear?